Everybody, take a deep breath. Relax. Because it's Sunday afternoon once again. Oh, hello there. What can you say? What can any of us say after such a traumatic week here in the UK? Oh my goodness. It's hard to know where to start about what's happened over the past few days, or in fact the past few months here in the UK. All I can say is what a week it has been. It's been a very crazy week here in the UK. Anyway, good afternoon, welcome. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I really hope so. Here we are on a Sunday afternoon. It is live English all the way for the next 2 hours. Mr. Duncan, we can't believe that you are on YouTube live for 2 hours. Yes, it's true. Every single Sunday you can catch me here live on YouTube for 2 hours every Sunday afternoon from 2 p.m. UK time. And here I am proving just that I am as live can be. It is now 10 minutes past 2 o'clock, slightly later than usual. I am a little bit late. I have been running around all morning. I got up very early this morning to go to the local farm shop to buy some bird food because I've actually run out of bird food. So this morning I got up very early to go to the local farm shop, and there they sell lots and lots of different things. They sell some very unusual things, contraptions for removing the teeth from horses, things like that. But also they happen to sell bird food as well. So this morning I got up very early to go and buy some bird food. So now my birds are very happy. But because of doing that, I have had to rush around. It always seems as if I have lots of time on a Sunday morning, but then suddenly the time vanishes. I don't know where it goes to. Have you noticed that sometimes? Have you noticed that when it seems as if you have lots of time, suddenly you have very little time? Some people might say that life is a little bit like that. You don't realise just sometimes how little time there is to do things. Oh, that's very deep and meaningful, I must say. So hello there. My job is to teach English to you, to help you with your English. Don't forget, I have a YouTube channel where you can watch all of my lessons, recorded lessons, and of course my live lessons as well. So just in case this is your first time watching me today, don't worry. Do not panic. There is nothing wrong with your computer. I am Mr. Duncan and I live in England. If you want to get in touch with me, or if you want to keep up to date with what is happening in the world of English, then so now there is no excuse. There it is. If you want to get in touch with me, if you want to keep up to date with what is happening in the world of English, then those are the addresses to take note of. So here we go. The live chat is already open. Lots of things coming today. Some questions for you, of course. Guess what? Today we have the mystery object. object. It has been a long time since I've had a mystery object, but today we have a mystery object. Shall I show you the mystery object? No, not yet. A little bit later on we have a mystery object. You have to guess what the object is. Another question for you today. I want you to solve the mystery idioms. We have some idioms in picture form, and what I want you to do is to guess what the idioms or expressions are. It's as simple as that. So that coming very, very soon. Also, what do we have today also? Oh yes, near to where I live today there is a big air show taking place. Lots of aeroplanes flying over. So at some point today you might hear some aircraft flying over my house. Ooh, so that taking place around my local area today. What else is coming today? Oh yes, another question for you. What is the worst movie that you've ever seen? What is the worst movie that you've ever seen? We all have one on our list, maybe more than one, but we've all been to the cinema at some point and we've had to sit through a terrible movie. So that's another question for you today. What is the worst movie that you have ever seen? We were of course talking about movies last week, so I thought we would do it again. So what is the worst movie that you have ever seen? Something that you thought was awful. Did you catch my live lesson, by the way? Because it has been a very busy week here in the UK. Lots of things going on. We had a general election taking place on Thursday, and of course I did do a special lesson all about it, and it is available now to watch on my YouTube channel. I did a special election English words special, and that was live last Thursday. And of course, because I always save my live streams, you can watch that again whenever you like. And also don't forget, my live streams have captions and subtitles. So after the lesson has finished, you can watch all of my live streams with captions. So there it is. That was the lesson that I did on Thursday. I did a 2-hour live stream on my mobile phone last Thursday. So that is one of the things that I did during the week. And of course it has been a very busy week. We had the general election, and on Thursday I went through lots of different words that are connected with elections. So just in case you missed that, you can watch it. So I had some words on Thursday, but I realized afterwards that there were 2 words that I'd missed out. So here are the 2 words that I missed out the other day. So here is one word that I missed the other day. I didn't give to you, so I thought today I would mention it. So there it is. Can you see it? The word is manifesto. Manifesto. So this is often used during elections. A manifesto is a public declaration of policies and terms, normally issued by political candidates or political parties, quite often just before an election takes place. So there is one word that I missed on Thursday. Manifesto. Manifesto. I hope that word is useful to you. And the other word that I forgot to mention was mandate. Mandate. Another word that is often used in politics, and it is an official order or commission to do something. So you could say that it's an official intention. So mandate and manifesto. So there are 2 words that are often used in politics, quite often just before a general election. And what a general election it was. Did you hear the news about what happened here in the UK? So we had the main political parties all trying to win a general election. What they were trying to do was to get a majority in the vote. So that means that they had many more seats or many more votes than anyone else could have. In this case, we are talking about seats in the House of Commons. So of course what we have now is a hung parliament, because there weren't enough votes. So because none of the parties got a majority, none of the people who were standing for election got a majority, we now have a hung parliament. So there is no clear winner. There is no clear winner. So you can imagine the situation now in the UK, because we have lots of things going on at the moment. We are about to leave the European Union. So lots of things are going on at the moment. A little bit more about that later on. I have a lesson all about Brexit, which I will play a little bit later on, just for you. But first of all, we have to go to the live chat, because the live chat is now up and running. We are live on a Sunday afternoon here in the UK. It is Mr. Duncan in England. A lot of people ask, where are you? I am in England. I am broadcasting live from the United Kingdom. I hope my tie will give you a clue to that. So I am now broadcasting live from the United Kingdom on a Sunday afternoon. It is now coming up to 20 minutes past 2 o'clock on a Sunday. Hello to Julie. Hi Julie, how are you today? Julie G is watching. Also Mahmood is here. Hi Mahmood, thank you for joining me today. Ari is here, who is watching in Kurdistan. Thanks for joining me on this Sunday afternoon in England, in the UK, the United Kingdom. Lots of things have been going on this week. Many things. Also, Attila is here. Hi Attila. Attila asks, how are you, Mr. Duncan? Well, I am feeling okay, although today I'm suffering a bit. So please be gentle with me today, because I am suffering slightly. I have a little touch of hay fever. So because I have hay fever, during today's live stream I might cough or I might sneeze a little bit today, so please be gentle with me, because I do have hay fever at the moment. The summer months here in the UK normally spell doom and gloom for me, because I normally suffer quite badly with hay fever. Asma is here. Hi Asma. Pichette is here as well, says hi. Hello to you. Nice to see so many people here today. If it's your first time here today, please let me know. Simona is here. Jedrej or Dredrej is here, watching in Poland. Gala is here. Hello Gala, watching in Siberia. We have so many people watching around the world this afternoon live. Don't forget, if you are watching right now, it is live. If you are watching later, it isn't. Confused? Me too. Hi from South Africa, says Fihesha or Fihesa. Hello to you as well. Fisea. I think it's actually pronounced Fisea. Thank you very much, and a big hello to South Africa. Greetings from Germany. A big hello to you as well. Halb Neon is watching as well, watching in Germany. I have lots of people all around the world, so many countries watching, listening, and of course joining in as well. So lots of people watching my YouTube channel and also my live stream for a Sunday afternoon. Long Najuan is here. Hi Long Najuan, thanks for joining. Nishant is here as well. Pierre, hello Pierre. Pierre and Irene are watching at the moment from France. Thank you very much for joining me today. Nice to see you both again. Amur is here. Thank you very much. Ukraine is watching as well. Olia, thank you very much. A big hello to you. Hi, Mr. Duncan. I am watching you in Haiti, and I am so excited. I'm so excited to hear you today. Blaze Nestle. Hello, Blaze. Thanks for joining me. Juraz or Juarez says hello as well. Thanks a lot for joining me. So many people. I will try to say hello to as many of you as possible, but I do have a lot of people joining me today. I love it when I have a big crowd joining in. By the way, just in case you are wondering what the weather is doing, at the moment here in the UK it's a little bit rainy, it's a little bit overcast, it's very dull and dismal, but now and again the sun does come out, so it's a very strange June day. And there is the live view at the moment outside, so that is the view in my garden right now. So there it is. A little bit later on I will be going outside to give you some flash words and some flash phrases as well. So there it was, a view outside. Also, we have something a little unusual coming later on. Now, I know that many of you love to see the nature in my garden, so I thought a little bit later on we would have a special little video showing one of the bulls at the back of my house, one of the bulls having a sweet dream. So that coming a little bit later on as well. But first of all, as I mentioned just now, we had a very crucial vote take place here in the UK on Thursday. We had a general election that took place on Thursday, and for those who haven't heard the news, the result was undecided. So we might actually end up having another election towards the end of the year. Can you believe it? And the reason why this is happening, of course, is because last year we had a vote to leave the European Union. We had something called Brexit announced. And of course, that is something that is still ongoing. So I thought, let's have a look at a lesson all about Brexit, because quite a few people don't even know what it's about. So here it is, a lesson that I made last year, all about Brexit. Unless you've been living under a giant rock for the past 12 days, you will no doubt know that things have been, let's say, a little turbulent over here in UK land. On the 23rd of June 2016, the good folk of the United Kingdom voted to leave the European Union, otherwise known as the EU. As for its history, the original intention of the EU was to join nations in Europe together as a coalition of free trade and movement, a sort of European club, so to speak. The original EU was in fact called the European Economic Community, which was formed in 1967. The UK originally became part of this club in 1973, during a period when the Conservative Party was in power. 2 years later, a referendum was held that allowed the population to vote on whether or not the UK should stay in the EEC. A resounding 67% of the voters say they wanted to remain. This was after a renegotiation had been called for by the Labour Party, who had come to power the year before, in 1974. The next 41 years would see many upsets and renegotiations as the rules were altered, quite often in the UK's favour. A good example being the opt-out of the single European currency, the euro. To this day we still cling on to our hallowed pound, which some say has helped Britain become one of the strongest financial marketplaces in the world. But like all currencies, it has had its ups and downs. There has for some time been a mistrust of the EU for many reasons, both real and imagined. From the draconian rules enforced on such things as the correct shape of bananas and the brightness of light bulbs and how much suck a vacuum cleaner should have, through to the growing concept of a link between UK immigration and economic decline, mainly related to the free movement of people across Europe. And so it came to pass during the run-up to the 2015 UK general election. The Conservative leader, David Cameron, announced that should his party win the next election, a referendum would be held to decide whether or not the UK should remain in the EU. He did go on to win, and sticking to his word, he announced later that a referendum would be held in 2016. The rest, as they say, is recent history. So, how did this vote come about? Some see this move as a gamble, the theory being that the offer of a referendum was done so as to assure a majority win and a further term in office for the Conservatives and Mr Cameron. There are those who now think that the decision was made with the assumption that the EU vote would go to the Remain group. If that turns out to be true, then the gamble most definitely did not pay off. The British exit from the EU became known as the Brexit. Each side of the argument put their views and opinions across during the run-up to the Brexit referendum, with economic instability and fears over immigration being raised a number of times during debates. Both sides made strong, if not slightly alarmist cases for their own stance on whether or not to stay in the European Union. Those wishing to leave became known as Brexiters or Brexiteers. Those wanting to stay became known as Remain or Remainers. On the night of the referendum itself, it seemed as if the Remain vote might have the edge, for a short time at least. But by the early hours of Friday morning it became clear that the vote had gone the Brexiteers' way, and the UK would in fact be leaving the EU. Needless to say, the result did not go down well for some people, as the margin between both sides had been so narrow, with 48% voting to remain and 52% wishing to leave. As the dust begins to settle after this latest national referendum, the after effects will be felt for some time to come, not least of all with the resignation of David Cameron and the scrabble to find a new leader, and with that a new Prime Minister. Then there is the obvious divide that has now split the country down the middle. In the not too distant future, it would seem that a general election is on the cards, and then the slow process of extracting the UK from the EU will begin. It is estimated that it will take 2 years to reach any sort of settlement. Another effect of the impending Brexit is the likelihood of the Scottish Parliament pushing for independence, which will, ironically, create a division between England and Scotland. In the future, Wales could also push for independence, as well as the possibility of a call for the reunification of Northern and Southern Ireland, all of which has led some Brexiteers to have second thoughts about whether to leave Europe or not. Of course, the vote has taken place, and the upshot is that by the end of 2018, the UK will no longer be a member of the European Union. Meanwhile, here in 2016, it is too early to tell exactly what the outcome will be. One thing, however, is certain. UK politics will be a lot more interesting over the next few days, months, and quite likely, years to come. So there it was, a lesson that I did last year explaining exactly what Brexit was all about. So the story continued this year with, of course, Theresa May stepping in as Prime Minister and then calling for a sudden general election. So that's what took place last Thursday. And the upshot of that is that now we have a hung parliament, so no particular party is in power. So we might actually end up having yet another general election later this year. So at the moment here in the UK, things are a little bit chaotic. It would appear that many people are saying that Theresa May should not have called for a general election. They are saying that she made a miscalculation. Isn't that a great word? Look at that word. It's so long. It might be one of the longest words I've used today or even recently. So there it is, miscalculation. If you make a miscalculation, it means you do something that you shouldn't have. You mistakenly did something. So maybe you thought it was the right thing to do, but in fact it was the wrong thing to do. So many people are now saying that the general election should not have been called for. They are saying that Theresa May made a miscalculation. She miscalculated the situation. So there it is. For those who aren't sure what the Brexit is, don't worry, it isn't all about politics today, but I thought it was very important to mention that because it's a very big story. Certainly here in the UK at the moment, certainly lots of people are talking about Brexit and of course the current political situation. So back to the live chat. Well, first of all, before we go back to the live chat, can I just say that it's nice to see so many people here today talking to me. So that's the reason why we are here, for you to share your interests or the things you want to say or ask, and of course for me to sit here as well and talk live to you. Don't forget, everything you see here is free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's completely 100% free. So we have the mystery object. We also have some questions today. Questions such as, what is the worst movie you've seen? The worst movie you have ever seen. What is it? What is it? So maybe a movie you went to the cinema to see and you thought, oh my goodness, what a load of rubbish. So what is the worst movie you have ever seen? Also we have the mystery object coming. Do you want to see the mystery object now? Okay, then here we go. I will give you a very quick flash of the mystery object. I won't show all of it. I will just show you a little bit of it. Here it is. Here it is. Here is today's mystery object. So that is a little part of the mystery object. There it is. Do you know what this object is? So there it is, today's mystery object. Do-do-do-do. What is it? Do you know what it could be? If you think you know, give me the answer a little bit later on. I am now destroying my studio just over there. I'm smashing my studio up. Mr. Duncan, I am Ed Nelson. Ed Nelson. And it is my first time here. Hello to Ed Nelson and welcome to my live English for a Sunday afternoon. It is now 2:37 on a Sunday. Hello from China. Oh, we have people watching in China. That's always good to hear and always very satisfying to see. Tunisia is watching as well. Ahmed is here. Thank you for joining me today. Jose or Jose, of course, is watching in Venezuela. Nice to meet you. Wasn't there a football match taking place today? I think it was Venezuela and... was it the England under-20s football team? Am I right? I think so. Julia is here. Good afternoon, Mr. Duncan. Hi from London. You are watching in London. How is the weather down in London? Up here, it's a little bit changeable today. We've had some rain. We've had some sunshine. It's very changeable at the moment. We have Russia watching. Hello from Russia. Sofiko is here. Hello to you as well. Thanks for joining me. So what is the mystery object? Here it is again. Mystery object. What could you be? Mystery object in front of me. What could it be? The mystery object. Talking of mysteries, we also have our mystery idioms. So it is now time to reveal those as well. Something to keep you thinking and scratching your heads today. So here are the mystery idioms today as well. So some mystery idioms. You have to look at the pictures and work out what the idioms are. So there is the first one. The first mystery idiom today. What is it though? It's a well-known phrase in English, but what is it? And the other one is this. So there they are, today's mystery idioms. There is the second one. What is it? It's a well-known phrase in English. And also the first one. But what is it? It is a well-known phrase in English. And there is the second one, just in case you didn't see it. Today's mystery idioms. So lots of things to keep you thinking and guessing for a Sunday afternoon. Thanks a lot for joining me today. I think we might be able to go outside now with our first flash phrase. Shall we go outside and see what the weather is doing? A few moments ago, the sun was out. In fact, I think the sun is out right now. So let's go outside, shall we? My lovely roses are growing very nicely today. They are enjoying the rain and the sunshine. I wish I could say the same thing. So here we go with today's first flash phrase. It is a flash phrase. Oh my goodness. So there it is. I hope you can see it clearly. Today's flash phrase is slip of the tongue. Slip of the tongue. Slip of the tongue is an English phrase. The phrase slip of the tongue means to say something incorrectly or to say something you didn't mean to. An accidental comment made without warning is a slip of the tongue. I did not intend to mention politics today. It was just a slip of the tongue. My mispronunciation was just a slip of the tongue. I didn't mean to say that. It was a slip of the tongue. We can also use the phrase slip of the pen, which is a slight error made whilst writing. So there it is, today's first flash phrase, slip of the tongue. Sometimes we say things we didn't mean to say. We can say that it was a slip of the tongue. So let's go back inside. It's very windy out here today. Very windy. And the sun has just come out. Isn't that nice? I'm back. Just a few moments ago, some planes flew over the house. There is an air show taking place not very far away from where I live. So there is a big air show taking place just up the road from my house. So now and again this afternoon there might be some aeroplanes coming over very low across the house. Hello, Mr. Duncan, says Anna. Hello, Anna. Anna Dorinova. Anna Dorinova. Thank you for joining me today. Eugene is here. Hi, Eugene, a regular viewer on my live stream. Thanks for joining me. I'm watching from Galcia in Spain, says Maria. Hello, Maria. We have quite a few Marias watching on the live stream. Mika Ode is here. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Oh, Mika is also suffering with hay fever. Yes, I have a little bit of hay fever today. Normally during the summer, when all of the pollen is out, when it is blowing around in the air, some people are allergic to pollen, and that includes me, and also Mika as well suffers from hay fever. And of course hay fever can cause many problems. It makes the inside of your nose become very sensitive, which means you will sneeze quite a few times. So during the summer months I normally get hay fever, normally during June and July. So June and July are the worst months for me, the worst ones. So the worst movie. Talking of the worst thing, what was the worst movie? What is the worst movie you've seen? I'm sure you will have plenty of suggestions for me. And also the mystery idioms. What are they? There is the first one. What is it? It is a well-known phrase in English. And there is the second one. What is it? A well-known phrase in the English language. All of the answers will be coming later on. Thank you for joining me. Jessica is here. Hello, Jessica. Jessica wishes everyone a happy, great day. Thank you, Jessica, for that. Andrew, I think Andrew wants to talk about one of his worst movies, or maybe his best movie. I'm not sure here. Let's see what Andrew is saying. Andrew says that there was an Indian movie. I think it was called Arshin Mal Alan. The main hero passed under a truck on his horse, tilting it down on its side like it was a motorcycle. This was awesome. Oh, I see. That sounds quite cool. I don't think it's a bad thing. That sounds quite cool. I've never seen anyone go under a truck sideways on a horse. I'm very intrigued now. I would like to see that movie very much. I think I will be searching for that later online, definitely. Nishant is here. Mr. Duncan, did you watch the Champions Trophy? I didn't watch it, but I think today Venezuela and England were playing a football match in the World Cup under 20s, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think England won. Did they win? I think so. I think they actually did. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello from Italy. It is a hot day in Italy. I wish it was hot here. It's not very hot. It's quite windy. It's not really hot, but because it's windy, all of the pollen is blowing around and going up my nose, so I'm suffering a bit from hay fever today. We are getting some correct answers for the mystery object. Well done. Quite a few people are guessing the mystery object. Someone thought maybe it was something for playing tennis. No, it's not a tennis racket. It isn't for playing sport, although it does look like it. It looks a little bit like a squash racket. Squash. Have you ever played squash? It's such a difficult game to play. You have to be very fit to play squash. But no, this is not a squash racket. It is not. It is something else. It looks as if quite a few people are getting the correct answer. So well done to that. Paul is here. Hello, Paul. Hello from New Jersey in the United States. It's my first time here, Mr. Duncan. Hello to Paul B. watching in New Jersey in the US of A. Mr. Duncan, is it something for playing cricket? Says Olga. No, it is not. It is not a cricket bat or a cricket racket. Sorry, but I don't watch movies, says Emilio. Yes, some people don't even go to the cinema. I don't go to the cinema as much as I used to. I used to go to the cinema all the time when I was very young. But nowadays, I think maybe I have become a little bit lazy, so I don't go to the cinema now. I tend to wait until movies come out on DVD. Or, of course, you can watch movies on Netflix and on Amazon now, so it's very easy to watch movies these days thanks to streaming. And of course you can watch me today because of streaming, because this is a live stream right now. Someone asked, Mr. Duncan, what does on the cards mean? If something is on the cards, it means it is likely to happen. So it is something that is likely to be done or is likely to happen. So something is on the cards. On the cards. So I hope that has been helpful to you. Hawa says, Mr. Duncan, I think Kill Bill was the worst movie I've seen. Yes, there were two. Was there a sequel as well? There was Kill Bill and Kill Bill 2. Was there a third one as well? I have a feeling there was a third one. Or did I just imagine that? So Hawa says Kill Bill is the worst movie I have ever seen. Marielle is here. Hi, Marielle. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I am from Brazil. Yes, Marielle, you are also correct with the mystery object. Well done. I think maybe this was too easy. I haven't had a mystery object for a long time, but this is something that is very useful. Some people think that it's used for sport. This is not used to play sport. It is something quite different. Mr. Duncan, I think the mystery idiom is both feet on the ground. Let's have a look, shall we? Mystery idiom today, both feet on the ground. You are close. You are close. Now, you can use both feet on the ground as an idiom, of course. If you keep both feet on the ground, it means you stay realistic. You stay grounded. You look at things realistically. You keep both feet on the ground. Although in this case, this is not the mystery idiom that I'm looking for. It is another one. So take a close look at the picture and say what you see. Say what you see. And for those who want to see the second idiom, there is the second mystery idiom. But what are they? What are today's mystery idioms? The answer coming up a little bit later on. Yes, that is why we are here today. We are here because it is live English for a Sunday afternoon, and unfortunately I am suffering a little bit with hay fever today because there is a lot of pollen in the air. So because of that, I am sadly suffering with hay fever. So please excuse me if I have to go away to have a little sneeze or a little cough. So please forgive me. I am just a little under the weather because I have hay fever. Sammy says, Mr. Duncan, are they your feet? They seem very cute and clean. Sadly, they are not my feet. My feet are too terrible to show. They really are. Some people say that my feet look too big because my toes are very long. In fact, my toes look a little bit like fingers. They really do. Columbia loves you, Mr. Duncan, says John Edinson. Hello, John Edinson, watching at the moment in Colombia. Thanks for joining me today. Happy to see you live, Mr. Duncan, says Marion. Thank you, Marion. Thank you so much for that. Mr. Duncan, another guess for your idiom from Olga. Does it mean go down the tube? That's a very good one. You are very close again. You are very close, but it isn't go down the tube. It isn't. Hi, Mr. Duncan. Yes, pin it. You have also got the mystery object right. Wow, so many people getting it correct. I think maybe it was a little too easy. Gala asks, hay fever, is it correct? We normally write hay fever like this. This is how we write hay fever. There it is. Hay fever. Hay fever is something that many people get during the summer months when there is lots of pollen in the air. So when the flowers and the trees release their pollen, some people are allergic. They are allergic to the pollen and they start to sneeze. Some people get very itchy eyes and some people get very itchy noses. In my case, I get very itchy nose, an itchy nose. There's nothing worse than an itchy nose because you have to sneeze all the time. That's no good. Paul B says, the worst movie I have seen was in 2016. It was Snowden. Oh yes, of course. Snowden, all about people giving away secrets. Magda is correct. Yes, you are very, very correct. Lots of people getting the mystery object correct. Well done. But not many people are getting the correct guesses on the mystery idioms. What are today's mystery idioms? Oh, just as I said that, we have Marshall or Marage or Marshage. I hope I have pronounced your name right. Marshage Rack says the second mystery idiom is... Yes, you are right. Well done. Well done. Lots of people have guessed the mystery object correctly. Well done. I will tell you what this is now. I will reveal the answer to this. This is something very useful during the summer months here in the UK, because during the summer months we get lots of flies and lots of mosquitoes coming into our houses, and there's nothing worse than having a fly buzzing around your head, or of course a mosquito. There is nothing worse than having a fly in your room. So this will help you to remove the fly from the room. You just swat the fly. Now this device uses batteries, so you put some batteries in there and this creates an electric current. So you get an electric current here, and when you hit the fly will go, it will be zapped by the electricity and it will be stunned. So that's what it is. It is used to swat or to stun or to kill flies. You can kill flies and also I think mosquitoes as well with this. A very useful thing. I haven't used it yet. I only bought this yesterday. I bought it yesterday when I was in town because the flies are now starting to come into the house and they are a pain. They are a pain in the... Where are they a pain? I will tell you. They are a pain. They are a pain in the arse. That's what they are. They are a pain in the arse. Or, of course, they are a pain in the ass. So something that is annoying, something that irritates you, something that gets on your nerves can be described as a pain in the arse. This is something we say a lot in British English. And in American English, they say ass. It's true. So this week in the UK, we have had lots of drama. The general election took place. I did a live stream on Thursday. You can still catch the live stream. It is available on my YouTube channel. Oh, I see. Moshage is pronounced very close to magic. Oh, I see. That's interesting. So magic or magic. Is that okay? Is that better? I'm sorry, Magic, for mispronouncing your name earlier. Very sorry. Paul B says, Mr. Duncan, is it a fly swatter? Yes, it is. You use this for getting rid of flies. It uses electricity to zap the fly. That's what it does. Would you like to see something lovely? Because now we are approaching 3 o'clock here in the UK. It is now 3 o'clock and I think it is time to take a look at something very lovely. At the back of my house, in the field at the back of my house, there are some bulls. And during the week, one of the bulls decided to have a little sleep at the back of my house. And fortunately, I managed to capture it on video. Would you like to have a look? Okay. Here it comes now. Wasn't that cute? So there it was. A bull sleeping at the back of my house this week. I couldn't resist filming it. It looks so peaceful and relaxed, and I was thinking, I wonder what the bull is dreaming about. Probably dreaming about a big field full of fresh grass. I think so. Simona says the bull fell asleep. He is very tired because he was out dancing last night. I think so, perhaps. Who knows? Ravina says, Mr. Duncan, I am missing your lessons. I hope you will make more lessons in the future with new topics. Well, of course, during my live streams, there are lots of topics. The reason why I do the live stream is because it allows you to get in touch with me live. What could be better than having a live stream? I don't think so. I can't think of anything better, to be honest. Many people now apparently are falling asleep because they are enjoying the sleeping bull. Thank you very much. It isn't a cow, it is in fact Mr. Bull having a little sleep there in the field. So well done to all those who got the mystery object correct. So there it was. That is something you use for killing flies. If you have a fly in your house that is being a pain, you can use this. Of course, some people prefer to use one of these. They just swat the fly with a shoe. So you have a choice, really. Cute picture, Mr. Duncan. Your bull is very cute. Thank you, Gala, for that. It's very kind of you. I love your bull. It was very cute, says Mitra. You are welcome. No problem. Mr. Duncan, what is the difference between a cow and beef? Well, a cow is the animal and beef is the meat that comes from the cow. So when we cut the meat from the cow, we call it beef. So beef comes from the cow. And of course there is pork as well. Pork comes from a pig. So pork comes from the pig and beef comes from the cow. I hope that explains that. And of course, if you have a big piece of beef, we call it a steak. Steak. Ooh. All this talk of meat is making me hungry. Mr. Duncan, I think your idiom is drag your feet, says Van Najuan. Let's have a look. Today's mystery idioms are right here. So there is the first one. Look very closely at the picture. So don't just look at the middle of the picture, look at the surrounding as well. Look at the surrounding part of the picture. So something else is going on there. And our second mystery idiom. What is it? And the question today, what is the worst movie you've seen? I know over the past few months I've been watching many movies and I've watched some absolutely awful movies. Now, many people don't like Spider-Man. So many of the Spider-Man movies people have criticised. They've said that they're not very good. Also Iron Man. Quite a few people don't like the third Iron Man film, Iron Man 3. A lot of people don't like that. They think it's a load of rubbish. So can you name a movie that you've seen that you think or that you thought was absolutely terrible? A movie that you think is so awful. If you think you have something to add to the list, please let me know. No problem. Here is another video clip for you now. This is a video that I made. I think I made this a couple of years ago now. This is very old, but it is a very interesting subject. All about the glass of water. This might look like just an ordinary glass of water, but in fact it is something much more symbolic. The way in which you view this glass might reveal how you view your own situation in life. Let me explain. To some, this glass is half full. It is not empty. It still has something to offer you. There is still some water left in the glass. You could say that this is a positive way of looking at the glass. However, to others, this glass is half empty. There is not as much water in the glass as there could be. This could be viewed as being negative and pessimistic. Your perspective of the world and your situation in general can often be judged by whether you see the glass as half full or half empty. As for me, well, what do you think? Is my glass half full or half empty? Being able to see the bright side of something is not easy, but it can be done. After all, tomorrow is indeed another day. Take another look at your glass. You might be pleasantly surprised by what you see. Oh my goodness! Something very dramatic just happened then. I had to turn the microphone down because a huge plane just went over the top of my house. It went so low. I don't know if you heard it then, but for a few moments there my microphone may have picked it up. An aeroplane went so low over the top of my house because very close to where I live today there is an air show taking place. Lots of aeroplanes flying around doing acrobatic moves, or as they call it, aerobatics. So aerobatics means that an aeroplane is doing special maneuvers, unusual maneuvers. Normally people stand around and watch the planes flying around, and the airfield is not very far from where I live, so the planes are coming over very, very low indeed. So let's go outside now, shall we? Let's have another flash word, shall we? And who knows, maybe a plane will come over the top of the house at the same time. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's go outside. Yes, we are now going outside. I can't believe how low that plane was. It was making the house shake. Ugh, it's so windy outside today. I can't believe how windy it is. So let's just make sure that no aeroplanes come over the house like a few moments ago. So here we go, today's flash word. Oh, this is a flash word. I hope you enjoy this. Today's flash word is predecessor. Predecessor. Predecessor is an English noun. The word predecessor means a person who was in a position of office or authority before the current one. A person who held a position or post before the one holding it now is the predecessor. It wasn't me who did that, it was my predecessor. I'm the new manager here and I intend to do a much better job than my predecessor. I think you are confusing me with my predecessor. As a point of interest, a person who is currently holding a position or post can be described as incumbent, the incumbent president, or of course the incumbent prime minister. Ooh, because here in the UK we have just had a general election that recently took place on Thursday. So at the moment, Theresa May is the Prime Minister, but her predecessor was David Cameron. So there it was, today's first flash word. I have to say, I can't believe how low that plane was. It came so low over the house. It was a little bit scary, to be honest. A little bit scary indeed. Hello to everyone who has just joined me. It is Mr. Duncan live on YouTube. It is now 3:15, 3:15 in the afternoon here in the UK, and I will be with you through until 4 o'clock. So another 45 minutes before I disappear. Sunil is here. Hello, Sunil. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you, Sunil. Jamelia is here. Oh, yes. Lots of people enjoying the Sleeping Bull. Thank you very much for your lovely comments. Eugene says, Mr. Duncan, the worst film I have seen is an American horror film. I don't even want to name it, so as to prevent people from watching it through curiosity. It was bloody stupid to the max. That means it was very, very stupid. It was a silly movie. So if something is to the max, it means it is all the way. It is the highest point it can be. You do something to the max. Isabel enjoyed the cows, or should I say the bull. It is actually a bull. It is a male sleeping in the field earlier. I might show it again later on if you want. I might show it at the end of today's live stream. What a wonderful sight. A bull having a nap. Oh, isn't that a lovely word? Yes, nap. If you have a nap, it means you have a short sleep. Nap. The first idiom is drag your feet. No, it is not. It isn't. Thank you, Van Najuan, for your guess. Thank you very much for that. Mr. Duncan, the worst film ever, The White Elephant. I don't know that film, to be honest. I don't know. Mr. Duncan, I used to live near an airport when I was a child, so I know it. I know the feeling. Yes, well, today there is a special air show taking place. So many big airplanes are flying over the house. So they are going to the place where the display is taking place. So, and they are flying very low over my house. And this happens every year at around about early June. So every year this takes place at a place called Cosford. Cosford. So today the Cosford Air Show is taking place. Is it the sand shifting beneath your feet? Is the first mystery idiom the sand? It isn't sand. So if I were to say that it's something else, so it's not sand, it's something else. So what else could be beneath your feet? What else could be beneath your feet? And what would happen to your feet if you were to stand there? And there is the second idiom, the mystery idiom. Don't forget, the answers will be coming later on, so don't worry. I will give you the answers later on. I won't keep you in suspense. Don't worry. Moon5 asks, am I the only one who doesn't know English here? No, you are not. Many people here are learning English as a second language, so don't worry. Moon 5, do not fear. Everyone is in a very similar position, except me. Is it itchy feet? Asks Olga. Is it itchy feet? No, it isn't. It isn't. Thank you for the compliment about my garden, Palmyra. Palmyra says, nice garden. Thank you very much for that. For me, all American actions are worst. Do you mean action movies? Is that what you mean? Says Gala. Mr. Duncan, how are you doing? I'm doing okay. Thank you very much, Mo Al. But today, sadly, I have a little bit of hay fever today. So my nose is a little bit sensitive and I keep sneezing. So if I suddenly disappear, it's because I need to sneeze. Okay? Okay! Simona has made a guess concerning today's mystery idioms. So what are they? There they are, the mystery idioms. But what are they? What are they? Mr. Duncan, Eugene has also made a guess about the idioms, the mystery idioms. Well done. Thank you, Eugene. Abril Himura says, Mr. Duncan, the worst movie I have seen is Twilight. Be careful. Be careful. You will have Stephanie Meyer's fans getting very angry. There used to be a girl on YouTube. Who remembers Nutty Madam? There was a YouTube user, a YouTuber that went by the name of Nutty Madam, and she was crazy about Twilight. Does anyone remember Nutty Madam? Or is it only me? But she used to go crazy about, oh, Twilight! The new Twilight movie is coming out! Oh my god, 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 oh my god! Like that. She used to get very excited. So, who remembers Nutty Madam? Nutty Madam was a big fan of Twilight. Mr. Duncan, is the mystery idiom pull the rug from under someone's feet? Well, that is a good guess, but it's not the correct guess. Oh, Randall has something to say about his worst or least favourite movie. Randall says that I don't like Adam Sandler. You might not be alone there. Quite a few people don't like Adam Sandler. Now, he did make some good movies quite a few years ago. Many people remember The Waterboy. The Waterboy was a very popular and successful movie by Adam Sandler, but later he made some terrible movies. Some awful movies. So Adam Sandler made some terrible movies. I think I agree with you, actually. And at the moment, I don't know why, on Netflix seem to have gone crazy at the moment over Adam Sandler. They keep showing his movies all the time on Netflix. I don't know why. So Randall does not like Adam Sandler. He's not a fan. Najan is here. I'm not sure what that means, so I can't explain that one. Paul B. Pipeline and rug, blanket. No, they are not the mystery idioms, but you are near with the first one. You are near. You are very near. I will give you the answers later on. Jamelia Tenti says some French movies can be horrible. Really? Do you have any particular French movies that you don't like, Jamelia? Is there something you want to share? I always remember, now I do like French movies. There was a very famous French comedian. He used to do silent movies. very similar to Charlie Chaplin, and his name was Jacques Tati. Have you ever heard of Jacques Tati? Jacques Tati was a brilliant comedian. He used to mime most of his movies. A very funny man. Eugene says, Mr. Duncan, I hate the Transformers movies. Me too. They're so loud and obnoxious. I can't stand Michael Bay movies. What is it about Michael Bay? His movies are always so noisy and grotesque. I agree. Yes, thank you, Eugene. Eugene does not like the Transformers movies, nor do I. Juan Pablo says Garfield was the worst movie. I was sleeping all the time. But I have to say to Mr. Duncan, it was very nice the next day. I don't know what that means. I don't understand that part. I'm sorry about that. Oh, but I said to my sister that it was very nice, and the next day she went to see the movie and she lost her money as well. That's not very nice, is it? Magda says, is the mystery idiom snowed under? No, it is not. But you are close. You are very close. Mr. Duncan, I think the idiom, the first one is don't let the grass grow under your feet. That is a very good idiom, but it isn't the one that I'm looking for. So here it is again. Today's mystery idioms. There is the first one. So take a close look at what you see. What can you see? And there is the second mystery idiom. I will reveal these later on. I'm so pleased to see that no one has said that Mr. Duncan's movies are the worst. I'm very pleased to hear that. Thank you very much for your vote of confidence. We can hear you, says Lena John. Oh, thank you very much. I'm very pleased to hear that. Very pleased indeed. Simona. Oh, Simona, I think you and I are going to disagree here. Simona says, I think Woody Allen movies are so boring. I have to disagree. I really do like Woody Allen. I like his movies. I like many of his movies. So, yes. So, I'm sorry. I have to disagree. I do like Woody Allen. I like his movies. Especially his very early movies. Maybe some of his later movies weren't so good, but his early movies, very good. In fact, in my living room, I have a box set of Woody Allen movies. I might show you later if we have time. So I do enjoy Woody Allen movies, but sadly Simona doesn't. She says, they're boring. Patricia is here. Hello, Patricia, watching in France. Thank you for joining me. Patricia Andretta. Patricia Andrietta. Thank you for joining me today. Endelson says, Mr. Duncan, you need Kerfis. I don't know what that is. Is that some medicine? Is that something for me to take for my hay fever? Maybe. Isabel Anton says that I did not like Birdman. Oh yes, Birdman. Of course, Birdman was released about 2 years ago, and it did win the Oscar, didn't it, as well? It did win the Oscar. Who was the star of Birdman? I think it was the guy that played Batman, wasn't it? Yes, I think so. Talking of Batman, some very sad news yesterday. I don't know if you heard, but I am a person of a certain age, and when I was growing up, I used to watch the TV series Batman, which was made in the 1960s. And sadly yesterday, the man who played Batman in the TV show sadly died. Adam West died yesterday, aged 88, a very funny man. He was brilliant in Batman. Such a a strange, surreal program. And of course, Adam West also appeared in Family Guy, playing a regular character, Mayor West. So yes, very sad to hear yesterday of the death of Adam West, who used to play Batman in the original TV show during the 1960s. So some very sad news there. I must admit, I did feel a little pang of sadness when I heard the news. Nishant says Lion was the worst movie. I left the movie halfway through. When you say Lion, do you mean Lion King? Maybe. I don't know. Oh, I see. Endelson says kefir is a cultured milk with... It tastes very tart and maybe even sour, but the two foods have some differences as well. So why are you suggesting that? Is it something I should be drinking? Do you think it will help me with my hay fever? I'm not sure. I usually listen to your courses here, but by accident I found you live, and I take my course live. Thank you, Saeed. Saeed is here. Welcome, and this is the first time that you've seen me live here today. Thank you very much. Well, there is some good news. I am here every single Sunday. Every Sunday I am live on YouTube. And just in case you want to get in touch with me, here is my email address and also my Facebook page. Yes, we are live on YouTube now, and there we go, just to prove that I am a fan of Woody Allen. Not everyone likes Woody Allen. He is often criticised. Some people think his movies are not interesting, but I am a big fan of Woody Allen, and I have a box set featuring many of his movies, including Annie Hall. I think Annie Hall is my favourite Woody Allen film. I must admit, I do quite like Annie Hall. And also Bananas. See, Bananas is a brilliant film. It's satirical. It's a satirical film. And of course, a very funny film, Everything You've Always Wanted to Know About Sex, but was too afraid to ask. That's a brilliant movie. Also a very, very long title. Also Manhattan as well. Another very popular Woody Allen film. So yes, I am a fan of Woody Allen. I like his movies, and just to prove it, I have the box set. So yes, I do like Woody Allen, but not everyone likes him. So what is your worst movie? The worst movie you have ever seen? Paul B says, I think that Liam Neeson is one of the best actors. Hey, my name's Liam Neeson. I'm going to find you. I'm going to track you down. And when I do, I'm going to tickle you. I'm going to tickle you so much you will laugh until you wee-wee yourself. Liam Neeson. I'm not sure if I like Liam Neeson. He's a very, very acquired taste. Of course, Liam Neeson was in one of the Star Wars films. He was in the first Star Wars prequel. Isabel Anton, what is your favourite Woody Allen movie? Yes, I like Annie Hall. I think Annie Hall is my favourite Woody Allen movie. Ravinda asks, Mr. Duncan, are you married? Ooh, why? Why are you interested? Are you are you available next weekend? Am I married? That's a very interesting question. I don't know why you want to know that. Matthew Boone says, Mr. Duncan, to have both feet on the ground. No, that is not the mystery idiom today, although it is a very good one. It's a very good idiom. Yours is a good choice, but it's not the one I'm looking for, unfortunately. Estella, Mr. Duncan, please tell us about your YouTube Teachers Award. Yes, during the week, I was ranked at number 4 on the list of YouTube English lovers by a website called babla.com. So yes, I actually came very high up on the list. I was at number 4 on the list of best YouTube language teachers, and also I was the highest English teacher on the list. So I was at number 4 and I was the highest English teacher on the list. Ooh, so thank you very much for that. Of course I didn't mention it because I'm very modest. I don't like to talk about these things normally, but thanks for mentioning it. Thank you, Estella, for that. I didn't come first. I came 4th, but I was the highest ranked English teacher in the list. Thank you very much for that. Hang Tan, you are so interesting. Oh, thank you very much for that. I'm glad to hear it. I like that you have a sense of humour. Yes, well, you do, because life can be very long and sometimes life can be very difficult. So I always find that having a good sense of humour can get you through those difficult times. I think so. Marisa says, only number 4, Mr. Duncan. You were only number 4. That's not very nice. But I was the highest ranked English teacher. So the other ones that were higher than me on the list, they were teaching other languages. Mike Schmid says the worst movie was the first movie from Peter Jackson. It is a horror movie before he made Lord of the Rings. I don't know which movie that is, but I have heard of it. I have heard that he did make a horror movie, but I can't remember what the title is. I can't remember what it is, unfortunately. Thanks for that. Hello, what is stronger? It's gone. Hello, what is stronger for you, Russia or the USA? Why do you care what I think? I think Woody Allen's characters are all stressed people, and because of that his films are boring. They are very repetitive. Thank you, Maria Giovanna La Rosa says Woody Allen's films are all the same. Some people might say the same thing about me. They might say, Mr. Duncan, it's always the same. You're always talking about English. Thank you very much to Endelson, writing once again about kefir, which is a fermented milk. It tastes like yogurt. Oh, well, I am a big fan of yogurt. I always eat yogurt. Or do you eat yogurt or do you drink yogurt? I'm not sure. Which is it? Is it eat yogurt or drink yogurt? Because yogurt is almost like a drink. It's almost liquid. So thank you very much, Endelson, for that once again. Good luck. I don't know what that means. Is the idiom stand on one's feet? No, it is not. I will give you the answer very shortly. Just another 22 minutes before I go. Mr. Duncan, what films or TV series do you recommend watching to help someone learn English? There is a very funny TV show made many years ago here in England called Mind Your Language. So that might be something you can find on YouTube. But really, I always recommend watching anything that has subtitles or anything that you can listen to easily. And that's the reason why many people like listening to my lessons, and also they like listening to my live streams, because it's very easy to listen to. It's very easy to understand. And of course, if you can understand something easily, it's much easier to learn from. Congratulations on your high list. You are the best English teacher in the world. Thank you, Maria. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your lovely comments. Thanks such a lot, although I am getting very embarrassed by them. We can hear the sound outside. Oh, yes. Is that better? Okay, maybe you can't hear the sound now. I've turned it off. My name is Nico. Thank you, Endelson. Or is it Nico? I will call you Nico, okay? Here is the idiom for Theresa May. To score an own goal. Oh yes, that's a good one. If you score an own goal, it means you make the point against yourself. So you score a point against yourself. So you score an own goal. Own goal. You score the point against yourself. Thank you very much. Isabel says, Mr. Duncan, you speak very clearly and accurately. It feels great. Thank you very much. To walk around in your bare feet, is that the mystery idiom? I'm afraid not. It is not. So let's have a lesson now. Here comes another English lesson. And this is all about the subject of news. This is a lesson that I made quite a few years ago.
This is DNN News. Your newsreader is Dick Sharp.
In today's news, famous actress gives birth after sneezing. Man in Leeds misses his bus and is 20 minutes late for work. Online English teacher Mr. Duncan buys himself a new pair of socks. We have exclusive pictures. All those stories, plus sport with Trevor Fast and much, much more, right here on DNN News. Don't go away! Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope so. In this lesson, we will look at words and situations related to the world of news. It's news! It's news! The word news relates to any event or information that is reported within a short time of it happening, or information that was previously unknown. The word itself originates from Middle English and is the plural of the word new. There are many words related to news, such as announcement, bulletin, communique, dispatch, notice, report, reportage, and statement. That's interesting. There are many ways of receiving or finding out news. We can read it in a newspaper. We can hear it on the radio. We can watch it on the television. We can search for it on the internet. We can receive it on our mobile phones. Sometimes another person may tell us it. When this happens, we describe it as word of mouth.
Sometimes we hear news that may be inaccurate or not true. In this situation, we call it gossip, rumour, speculation, or tittle-tattle.
Coming up next on DNN, entertainment news. We have an exclusive interview with up-and-coming rap star T-Bag. That's unbelievable. When we read a newspaper, the most important or newest stories will appear on the front page. When we watch the television news, the most important stories will be the first to be read out. These are called the headlines, or the top stories. When a television or radio news report is given, we normally call this a news bulletin. The information about each story is given in short and easy to follow sentences over a period of a few minutes. The average news bulletin takes around 15 minutes to be given. A person who reads the news on TV or radio is called a news anchor, newscaster, news host, or news reader. Needless to say, news covers many subjects, including economics, politics, social issues, technology, entertainment, and sport. It would be true to say that not all the new events that occur can be reported, and because of this, they are usually chosen depending on their importance and overall effect. Come on over here, give us a smile for our readers. That's it, come on, stay there. Okay, one more. Yeah, thanks a lot. The industry that collects and distributes all the news stories around the world is called the media. This word relates to the fact that the person giving the news is in the middle of the process. It is also worth noting that the word media can be used both as a singular and plural noun. People who collect the news are called journalists, and if they work for a newspaper, they can also be called a press reporter. Oh no, another grey hair! When an event or news story happens suddenly, then we call it breaking news or developing news. This means that not all the details of the story are yet known. A good example of this situation would be the moments following the first attack on New York's World Trade Center in 2001. When breaking news happens, it is given priority above all other stories until more details are known. Thanks to new technology, we can now get all the news we need 24 hours a day via satellite and cable TV stations. This type of service is called rolling news. The current events being reported are shown as text, moving along the bottom of the screen. Like this. Oh. Hello, Mr. Cameraman. I need my cameraman. Where is he? I need to make it higher. What? He's gone for his supper? Oh, that's no good. Okay, I'll do it myself. This new way of receiving news means that the different channels must compete with each other for viewers. Some people believe that this has caused a change in the way news is reported. They accuse news channels of worrying more about their ratings than the actual news they are reporting. Despite this feeling, it seems now more than ever before there is a real need to be kept up to date and informed on what is happening in this ever-changing world of ours. There is an expression in English that goes, no news is good news. This means that sometimes hearing nothing about a situation is better than the possibility of receiving bad news. Before I finish my lesson today, I would like to say a special hello to my new friends watching in Brazil, Chile, Ethiopia, Germany, Israel, Japan, Mexico, the Philippines and Puerto Rico. This is Mr. Duncan in England, wishing you well and signing off. Ta-ta for now.
So there it was, made 9 years ago, that lesson. Can you believe that is 9 years old, that particular lesson? But still very current, because many people at the moment are talking about news, fake news, how news is reported, how facts are used, so whether something is true or not, or whether something that is untrue is passed as being true. So at the moment, news and of course politics are two very hot topics. So there it was, a lesson made 9 years ago. Can you believe it? I can't believe it either. Many people saying, Mr. Duncan, you look so young 9 years ago. It is true. So back to the live chat, and of course we are looking at today's mystery idioms. I will give you the answers very shortly. We are here for around about another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, about 15 minutes. Okay, no problem, I don't mind. So today's mystery idioms, there is the first one and there is the second one. I'm getting lots of answers, lots of guesses, but none of them are correct so far. I think I've had one correct answer so far. So there they are, today's mystery idioms. But what are they? And for those who want to see the sleeping bull again, I will show the sleeping bull at the very end of today's live stream. So today we will end with the sleeping bull in around about 15 minutes. Is that okay? I hope so. Back to the live chat. Mohammed Cheraku asks, Mr. Duncan, what does the idiom keep your chin up mean? If you keep your chin up, it means you stay happy, you stay positive. So maybe, perhaps your friend, maybe you know a friend, you have a friend who is feeling very unhappy or sad or down. You can say, oh, go on, keep your chin up, keep your chin up, stay happy, stay positive, keep your chin up. I hope that helps you. A few moments ago I mentioned a TV show called Mind Your Language, and here is the DVD. I love this program so much I even have it on DVD, and I used to watch this TV show when I was a child, when I was just a young person many years ago. This was made in the late 1970s, this particular program, and this British TV program takes a humorous look at the problems faced by those learning English as a second language. Much of the humour comes from the misunderstandings between the teacher of the class, Jeremy Brown, and his multinationality class. This particular show ran for 3 series, with a 4th one made in the mid-1980s, which apparently is now presumed lost. Some people have criticised the show for its portrayal of the students as cultural stereotypes. Nevertheless, Mind Your Language is still watched by those who speak English as a first language, and this programme is enjoyed by those learning it as their second language. So there it is, a very funny TV programme all about people learning English as a second language, and the TV show is called Mind Your Language. I think, now I don't want to tell you to do things that are illegal or forbidden or wrong, but there are some episodes of Mind Your Language on YouTube. So if you search for Mind Your Language, and as far as I know, some of the episodes have subtitles on YouTube. Sadly, the DVD doesn't have subtitles, which I think is sad, really. It's quite a shame. But on YouTube, some people have uploaded episodes of Mind Your Language, and you can find them on YouTube. And some of them do have subtitles. Don't forget, talking of subtitles, you can also watch this live stream later with subtitles. Oh my goodness. Mercedes Duarte says, Mr. Duncan, you were so young in that video lesson. Yes, it was 9 years ago. That's probably the reason why. I'm sure we all looked very young 9 years ago. I think so. Some more than others. Back to the live chat. Got Himmer says, congratulations for being ranked as one of the best online English teachers. Thank you very much. I came number 4 and I was the highest ranked English language teacher on YouTube. So thanks a lot for that. Isabel, your mobile phone in the video is really antique. Yes, well, it was 9 years ago. Technology 9 years ago was very different from what it is now. Andrew says, talking of news, if a dog has bitten a man, it's not news. But if a man has bitten a dog, then that's what we call news. Yes, I think nowadays a lot of the news is very dramatic. It is very sensational. I think that's a word that we use a lot now when we talk about news. We often talk about news being sensational. So it means it dramatizes. There's that word. I invented that word, by the way, to dramatize something or dramatize. If you over dramatize something, it means you make it more than it really is. So I think a lot of news stories now go for a very sensational angle. So you get stories that are very dramatic. I think so. Thank you very much, Andrew, for that. Samuel is here from Brazil. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you for joining me today. Lots of people today on the live chat. Matthew Boone. Oh, hello, Matthew Boom. Today I installed a bird bath in my garden. Oh, I see. Yes. So now you are trying to attract birds, because in my garden I also have a bird bath. Can you see it? You can see the bird bath just at the bottom of the left hand side of the picture. You can see a bird bath. Sadly, no birds. There aren't any birds. Nikolai is here. Nikolai watching in Belarus. I invite everybody to visit this country. It is very beautiful. Also, my country is known for potato pancakes. Ooh, I must say I like the sound of those. Have you ever tasted these meals? No, I haven't. I must admit I've never tried potato pancakes, but I must be honest, I'm very intrigued indeed. Eliana says, thank you for your tip. I am going to find that video. Oh, I see. Do you mean Mind Your Language? There it is. Yes, it is available on DVD and also on YouTube as well. I think some people have uploaded this to YouTube, although it's very naughty and illegal. I have been watching your videos for a while, says Gendrio. Thank you very much, Gendrio. Thank you very much. It's lovely to hear that you've been watching my videos for a long time. I think the expression in your mystery idiom is stand on your own feet. Well, that is a very good expression. It isn't the one I'm looking for, but stand on your own 2 feet means to take care of yourself or to stand up for yourself. To defend yourself is to stand on your own 2 feet. I remember when I started to watch you, I understood very little, but today I feel moved by my improvement. Thank you very much, Juarez Furlan. Thank you, and thank you very much for watching me and trusting me. Thank you. Trang Sarah says, I like your tie. Oh yes, do you like my tie? This is my UK tie, because many people think that I'm in the United States, but I'm not in the USA. I am actually in the United Kingdom. It is a different country. Yes, it is. It is what? So it isn't stand on your own 2 feet. Let's have a look once again at the idioms. So these are today's mystery idioms. I will be giving you the answer very shortly because we are coming towards the end of today's stream. Oh, I'm sorry. I will be going in around about 5 minutes. So there is today's first mystery idiom, and there is the second one. The first one, I think we have a correct answer. Yes, we have one correct answer. Yes. And there is the second mystery idiom. I will give you the answer in a few moments' time. Gendrio says, since I was living in El Salvador, I've been watching your videos, Mr. Duncan, to help me at school. And now I am living in Houston, Texas. Thank you for your sharing. Gendrio. So are you saying that my lessons helped you with your life? Thank you very much. I'm very moved, very touched by that. I really do love hearing your success stories. So if my lessons have helped you in some way, if my lessons have given you new opportunities, or if my lessons have opened new doors for you, please let me know. I am very, very, very moved to hear that. So congratulations, Gendrio. Of course, you put all of the work in because you did the studying, you did the practice, you did the hardest part. So congratulations, Gendrio, for that. Well done. Mr. Duncan, is the first idiom itchy feet? It isn't, no. I love this one. This expression, I shot myself in the foot. Well, some people have said that Theresa May has shot herself in the foot because she's done something that has harmed herself. Well done, I like that expression. Although it's not the mystery idiom, I'm sorry about that, it isn't. I've already explained what keep your chin up means. To keep your chin up is to stay happy and positive. If you keep your chin up, it means to stay positive and happy. My suggestion for the second idiom, it goes in one ear and out the other. It isn't that. It isn't that one, no. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I'm new here. I would like to improve my English. Zakaria. Hello, Zakaria, and welcome. If it's your first time here today, welcome. I will be going in around about 3 minutes. We only have 3 minutes left. Oh, no. Mr. Duncan, please could you inform the other class? Because here in Brazil, it is time for lunch, and now I am going to make my wife some lunch. Oh, you are going to take your wife to have lunch in a restaurant. Oh, thank you, Eden Nilsson, for following me today. You are welcome. I will be back here next Sunday. Next Sunday, I will be here live 2 p.m. UK time. Next Sunday. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. You are great. You are very, very welcome. I love doing this. It is the reason why I am here. In a moment, I will go into my kitchen and I'm going to eat some of this. That will be my snack in around about 5 minutes time. So in a few moments I'm going to go into my kitchen and I will have some delicious bread. Can you see that bread there? It is a very special type of bread. It is called tiger bread. Why do you think it's called tiger bread? The reason is because the colour looks a little bit like a tiger. I think so. So that is what I'm going to be eating in a few moments' time. I'm going to have some delicious tiger bread. Ooh. Thanks a lot, Mr. Duncan. You've helped me improve my English. Mina, thank you very much for that. Pierre says goodbye and au revoir. Thank you very much. You are very welcome. It is my pleasure to be here today. We are going right now. It is time to say goodbye. Thanks for watching. I will be back with you next week. The mystery idioms. Let's have a look, shall we? The first one, I think maybe 2 people got this right. The first mystery idiom, cold feet. Because of course, the feet are standing on the snow. So if you stand on something cold, you will get cold feet. And the second mystery idiom, is in the pipeline. So if something is in the pipeline, it is something that is in the planning stages. It is something that will happen in the future. It is something you are planning to do later. It is something that is in the pipeline. And the first one, cold feet. So there they are, today's mystery idioms. I hope you enjoyed them. We are going to finish today with the sleeping bull, because a lot of people said, Mr. Duncan, your sleeping bull looked so peaceful and relaxed. The tiger bread looks delicious, says Maria. Yes, I'm going to have some tiger bread in a moment. It's very fresh as well. There's nothing better than fresh bread. Thank you from Japan, says Hiroko. Thank you, Hiroko. See you later and have a super night in Hiroko. It's very late in Japan now. Goodbye from Mexico. Bye-bye from France. Thank you, Abril and Patricia. Thank you, Edeltrad. Thank you for your live lesson. Have a nice week. I hope you all have a super duper week. The sleeping bull is on its way. I will see you next Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thanks for watching me today. Bye-bye to Turkey. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Umit. Thank you, Eugene. Thank you, Paul. Palmyra. Thank you very much. Giap. Thank you, for your goodbye. Thank you very much. A big goodbye from Russia. A big goodbye from Yolanda, Avinash, Mehmet, and one more goodbye, Jedrej, and let's have one more, Gendrio as well. Thanks for watching me today. This is, for the final time, Mr. Duncan in England saying thanks for watching me, teaching you live from England. Have a great week, have a super duper time, stay safe, and of course, you know what's coming next. Ta-ta for now.